Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. So pull up your favorite chair or start your workout, or if you're on your way to work, have a great day and let's get to chatting, shall we? With the very first question from Trip Amy. Hi, I have a question for shopping in Paris. Any tips for shopping there? I heard they have a 2-bag limit and I'm saving up and I'm hoping to buy 4. Do you know if this is true? Okay, so let's tackle the first one. That's amazing. That's congratulations. That's so exciting. Any tips for shopping there? Yes. When you are shopping in Europe, they have VAT, which is value added tax. So whenever you purchase something, you can get a refund either at the airport or you can wait to get a refund in the mail, depending upon, if you use your credit card and stuff like that. So what I would do, if you can, try to dedicate an entire day to shopping, because you have to have your passport with you, especially if you're going to go to Louis Vuitton and you expect to get the VAT, because in order to put all your information in the computer, they have to have your passport and stuff like that. So if you can, dedicate an entire day to shopping so you can get all your shopping done. You have all your, you have your passport with you, because when you're out and about, when you're sightseeing, you don't want to carry your passport in general. You want to leave it at the hotel, because God forbid that you get pickpocketed or something like that. It's going to be quite messy and very difficult to get back to where you're coming from or where you came from. So I would always suggest that if that's not a possibility, if you have an agenda, if you want to do, let's say you want to go to Chanel, you want to go to Louis Vuitton, you want to go do this, I've always said it's always better to plan for those. And that way later on you can do sightseeing and you can do everything else without having to worry about your passport being in your bag with you. But another thing, if you're going to the Champs-Élysées store, it is an extremely busy store. I would advise you to get there a little bit sooner. I know I have heard of people saying that there's a crazy line outside. Both times that I have been, I have not had to worry about a line. The first time that we were there, we were actually the first ones in line. They had like a little, like a little thing that you can stand next to. And I think it's a lot crazier during the holidays, because, November, December, people want to be there for the holidays, and there's a lot more tourists. But then again, it's Paris. It's the #1 tourist spot in the entire world. So it's always going to have tourists, but they have even more so during the holidays. So try to get there a little bit sooner. And if they do end up having a limit, you can always go back multiple times. But if that's not a possibility, oh man, I don't know, because the last time that we were there was actually a family on the opposite counter from us, and she purchased 4 bags right then and there. So then again, I don't know if it has to do with the season or if it has to do with anything like that. So for that, for the limit part, I'm sorry. I wish I could be a little bit more help, but I have not encountered it both times. The first time was, as I said before, in November, and the last time was in March. So it all depends. And if they do end up having one, I don't know, maybe there's something that maybe they can send it to your hotel. I have no idea. I don't know. But the best of luck to you, and safe travels. You are going to have a blast. It's so much fun. Okay, so Cashmere Clover. I'm trying to decide on my next purchase, and I'm torn between the Montaigne MM in monogram and the Greenwich in the DE, which is Demi Ben. Okay, so both of these bags are absolutely fabulous. The Greenwich retails for $25.70 here in the States, and the Montaigne retails for $24.10 in here in the States. So they're pretty similar. Both of them have microfiber lining. Both of them have shoulder straps. The only difference is the Greenwich doesn't have feet and the Montaigne does. And also the Montaigne has compartments. So if you need a little bit more organization, I think the Montaigne is better versus the Greenwich, which is just an open it's just one large space. So I think both bags are absolutely beautiful. I love the leather that they put on the Greenwich, and you literally can't go wrong with either one. But just to kind of try to dwindle them, or try to pick between the two, if you need compartments, go with the Montaigne. If you carry a lot of things and you don't just want to just have one big area, the Montaigne is better. But if you don't mind having just one open space where you can fill it as much as you can, the Greenwich is a great way to go. So It's a little bit of both. Obviously, with Dame MM, you don't have to worry about the leather, and I believe it has no. I believe they have Nomad leather, and you do have to worry about the Vachetta with the Montaigne. So, I don't know. It's a hard decision because they are both absolutely beautiful bags. Okay, so best of luck to you deciding. Shopgirl408. How are you liking your Pochette Matisse? I bought it about a week after you, but I can't use it or even look at it until my birthday. And I think she said her birthday was in September. Oh my goodness, that is a long, long time away. That is torture, girl. Well, funny you should ask. I'm trying to reach over. I'm actually using my Pochette Matisse still. I have been using it for the last, I'd say maybe a couple days, and I just absolutely love it. We went to a flea market, and I always want to be hands-free because, you know, I like to look at everything. So this is the best way to go, especially because it's a crossbody bag and it's so versatile. You can really get a lot of function out of it. I think it is a great bag. I know there are a few people out there that don't like it because of the compartments and stuff like that, but I honestly think it is such a great piece, and it has a good price point for the versatility that you get. So I like it. I still like it. Okay. Max Hohen. Hi, Minnie. Hello. I just wanted to know your thoughts on the Saumur 30 monogram, or if you've ever owned one or experienced it. I have not. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering the name because I know you're supposed to say it with an accent, but it is what it is. The Saumur 30 is, or the MM, I think, in my opinion, is one of the best looking crossbody bags out there. It's solely a crossbody bag. There are a few ways that you can kind of move the strap so you can make it into a shoulder bag. I know my girl Anastasia M53 did that in a video. But I think it is, I think it's very appealing. I absolutely love the look of it, and it has quite a bit of compartments in there. So if you need organization, if you need a little bit of if you need compartments, stuff like that, I think it is a beautiful bag. And I don't remember the price point. I didn't write it down. Oh my goodness. But it is a beautiful bag. Out of all the crossbody bags, I think that is the best looking one, in my opinion. That's solely crossbody. I know the Pochette Matisse is versatile because you can either hand carry it or you can put on your crossbody. Oh my gosh. But Saumur is a beautiful bag, so I think you should go for it. Beautiful. Okay, Seattle Dove. I have a totally MM in Azure, but I don't use it very much. I always use other bags because I love crossbody more. I want to use it and keep it clean and neat. Should I sell it or keep it? What is your idea? Okay, so so if you want to keep it clean, I know there are things out there that you can stop the patina on the Vachetta, and you can pretty much, you can either stop the patina, you can seal it so that it has its fresh Vachetta look. But if a bag has been sitting there for, let's say, 6 months, and I haven't used it in 6 months, or let's even say a year, if you haven't used it in a year, it's kind of, there's a reason why you're not using it. Either you're not crazy about it, or even if you did that, you might still be a little bit worried because it is Azure and you have to worry about color transfer with it. So just for peace of mind, I honestly would sell the item, as beautiful as it is. And sometimes you don't want to sell these pieces because you're like, oh, it's so pretty, it's so pretty. But if it's just sitting there, I always say just get another bag if you can. Sell this one, especially if it's in beautiful condition. From what you have said, it doesn't seem that you've used it. So, I mean, you'll probably end up getting very close to what you paid for it, if not what you paid for it. So just enjoy a bag. Bags are to be enjoyed. If you have the possibility to look at them as pieces of art and just have them on your shelf, more power to you. But if it's all about function and being able to use it as a bag, and if you're not using it and it's just sitting there, that's money that can go towards another bag that you absolutely love. So I hate to say it, but I think it's time to let it go. Okay. Teo McCarter. I'm 21 years old and I have a couple LV bags and SLGs. I'm thinking about getting myself a Chanel Walk or a Louis Vuitton Alma BB in Vernis for my birthday when I'm in Paris. Woo! Another Parisian vacation. I love both bags, but I'm not sure which one to get. Okay, so this is very easy because the Alma BB is very easy to find here in the States. So if you ever want a specific color, they can always call other stores and get one for you. The Chanel Walk, however, is a little bit more tricky to get. It's, you know, the Chanel Walk, the wallet on chain, has tons of people on wait lists waiting to get this beautiful bag. And it's just, I absolutely love it. Both of them are great pieces. The Louis Vuitton Alma BB fits a ton. It's crossbody, and I love the color of Vernis, or the pops of color with Vernis. But the Chanel Walk is, I mean, they're two totally different bags. But if you're going to Paris, absolutely, I would recommend you getting the Chanel Walk there because you have a better chance of finding it there. Not only that, if you go to the main store, the 41 Rue de Cambon in Paris, you get to see the beautiful, this gorgeous Chanel boutique. It's a store and it has Coco's apartment next to it, and it's just insane. So I would suggest you go there and get the Walk. Definitely, because you can always get the Alma BB, and even if it's a color that you're crazy about, maybe the next year they come out with another color versus getting a timeless piece from Chanel. So I say go with the Walk. Okay, and Mariela Ramirez. Hello, Minks. When will you start using your Artsy? I will be starting to use my Artsy once, probably during closer to fall, because I have seen a ton of reviews out there, and because of the structure of the Artsy, I don't want the bottom of my arm here to hit the top part of the canvas. And if I'm wearing a tank top, then chances are my skin's going to hit up against it, and I have deodorant and stuff like that, so I don't want to rub all the deodorant all over the bag. So I rather have something with sleeves, and just because it gets so hot where I live, I tend to wear more sleeveless shirts and spaghetti straps, oh my goodness, I totally just dated myself. Or tank tops. I just don't want to have to deal with the deodorant on the canvas, so in the fall, I'll have longer sleeves and stuff like that I don't have to worry about that. So soon, I promise, soon. Although I have been thinking about using it after the Pigment Matisse because I can't wait to use it. I'm so excited because I can't believe it's in my collection. You know what I mean? It's just one of those bags that's... I know, I'm a little silly. Okay, Jill Lewis. Please recommend the smallest wallet you know that doesn't require you to fold your bills. I'm good with some bills and four or so cards. I've been using my Zippy coin full time, and while I love the size, folding the bills drives me nuts. I know what you mean. I absolutely love the Zippy coin purse, but especially when you have multiple banknotes, it's a pain in the butt. Definitely. Okay, so I was actually looking at a compact wallet. It does have, I think it's 6 credit card slots, and it does have a zippered compartment on the back. And the item that I'm talking about is called the Anais from Louis Vuitton, and it retails for $560 here in the States. So it has a really great price point for a compact wallet. And you open it up, and it has 2 bill compartments that are side by side. It kind of looks like an agenda, and you're able to just put your bills in there without having to fold them. And it's a versatile piece. Like I said, a great price point, $560. And out of all the compact wallets, I think that's the best one. Then again, you can go with the Sarah wallet, and instead of having the Sarah compact wallet, and instead of having to, fold it multiple times, you might have to fold it once. But out of those 2, I would recommend the Anais. Yes, I believe I'm saying it correctly. I might be butchering it though. Okay. Yarden Whites. I want to buy my first luxe designer bag or wallet? I'm thinking of the Louis Vuitton Eva clutch, the Chanel Eau card case, or maybe a larger Chanel wallet. What do you think? Okay, so this is a great question. I have actually thought about buying multiple times. I have thought about buying a Chanel wallet. In specific, I really like the zip around one with the black caviar leather and the gold tone hardware. I just think it is a beautiful, beautiful wallet. However, I have noticed that Chanel wallets don't seem to age as well as other designers. In specific, Louis Vuitton. I think Louis Vuitton has some of the best SLGs. They last forever. I know they've had problems with SLGs in the past, as any fashion house has problems. But for the most part, I think that Louis Vuitton SLGs are a little bit better than Chanel SLGs as far as larger wallets go. The smaller ones, the little O card case or the card holder, I think those are my favorite. I have both of them and I absolutely love them, especially when I'm traveling, because they don't take up too much space, and especially if I'm going compact, you want to try to minimize as much space as you can, or try to minimize the items that you have in your bag as much as you can. So for that reason, oh, man, if you're gonna buy your first designer piece, just because because it's going to be your first designer piece, I would have to say an SLG, because as you guys know, I always say try out a small leather good first to see if you even like the brand, or if you like the leather or the canvas or whatever it is that you want to purchase, because it is an expensive piece, but it's not as expensive as buying an entire bag. So like the Eva clutch is $770 here in the States. So if you get a small card case from Louis Vuitton, or if you get the Chanel card case holder, they're $400 versus having to pay $775. Or if you get like I said, if you get the Louis Vuitton one, I think it's $230 here in the States. So it's a big difference. It's a $500 difference. So I always say try SLGs first for any first-time luxury designer if you're going to purchase it, so you can really, really feel for what it is that you like. Because just because, like I said before, just because Sally says it's a great piece and I think you should get this and that, doesn't mean that it works out for everyone's lifestyle. So try out the SLGs first. And in this particular instance, I would have to say the Chanel Eau card case, because it's a small piece and you can definitely feel for the caviar leather or whatever leather it is that you want to purchase it in. It's a great piece. Okay. Amber Fowler, I'm looking to purchase a Chanel wallet on chain in black caviar and either the gold or silver hardware. I was wondering, what do you think about the silver hardware? Do you feel that the silver screams too casual? And if so, should I stick with gold? Okay, so this is another great question. It's always the debate. Should I get the black or the gold tone hardware or the silver hardware? Personally, I like the look of the black caviar leather or black leather in general with gold hardware. I think it looks a lot more luxurious. I feel that it's a little bit more sophisticated. So if here's the gold and here's the silver, it's literally right here. It's not too big of a difference, but I just absolutely love the contrast between those two. Now, my jumbo, my GST, my wallet on chain, I have 3 of them that are all black caviar with gold tone hardware, and I'm glad that I was able to get those pieces first. So if I had to do it all over again, I'd still do it the same way that I did. I'd stick with black and gold first, and then if I wanted to, then I'd go into silver. And another thing that people do, if you tend to wear more silver jewelry, a lot of people tend to go with silver. Personally, I wear silver jewelry, I wear gold tone jewelry, I wear all sorts of metals, and I am okay with mixing and matching my metals with the bag that I'm wearing. I don't try to mix the bag with my accessories, if that makes any sense. I'm not one of those people. I know there's people out there that do that. So if that's important to you, what is the hardware or what's the type of accessories that you use the most with what type of metal? My gosh. So another thing is, I think part of me thinks that the silver hardware is a little bit casual. Case in point, I knew that the Le Boy that I bought from Chanel, I knew that the one that I wanted to get had to be silver hardware. And yes, it is ruthenium hardware, but it adds to the to the casualness of the bag. You know what I mean? So it's a relaxed leather. It's an aged hardware, and I just think that it all ties in together. But at the same time, I do want to get a medium large Chanel classic flap with black caviar leather and silver hardware, just because I already have the big mamma jamma that I want, which is the jumbo with the gold tone hardware and the black leather. So now I want the silver just to kind of switch it up, because that's something that I would use a little bit more casually. So, and definitely a little bit more on the daily. The jumbo I bring out every once in a while, you know, for special occasions, because that's the bag that I choose to do that with. So if you want a bag that's very casual, I think both of them, whether it's gold hardware or silver hardware, either one, you can dress them up, dress them down. You cannot go wrong with a Chanel classic in either hardware. But personally, I like the fact that the gold and the black looks a little bit, just a tad more luxurious than the silver. So have I thought about getting silver hardware? Yes, because I want that medium large. So hopefully I was able to help you out with that, because like I said, it is a huge debate between the hardware. So once you get to the store, you're like, okay, I'm set on this bag and I'm set on this, and now it's time to pick between the hardware. I am so indecisive, but when it comes to that, I always pick gold hardware first. But great question. All right, Mary, I'm buying myself the Neverfull and Damier Ebene. I'm so excited. Congratulations. I was just wondering if you could tell me a little about the red interior color transfer. I like to keep sweaters and scarves in my bag. Will the red rub off onto my white or light colored fabrics? Okay, so Damier Ebene, for those of you that know, has the exquisite red interior into most of their bags. And I actually did a little test, and I actually had a little white sock, and I rubbed it. I kind of left it in the bag for a little bit, and then I took it out, and there was no color transfer on there. You pretty much have to cause friction with your item and the bag in order for it to really rub on there. I have had multiple sweaters in my Neverfull and my Speedy, especially because the Speedy I tend to use, the Speedy 35 in Damier Ebene, I tend to use the most during the fall and the winter. And I had no problems with color transfer, and I think you'll be fine as long as you're literally not sitting there rubbing your items on the interior, the red interior. I think you'll be fine. But it's more so something that causes friction with it. So if you have a lighter colored cosmetic case like I did, and the corners rub on it with, you know, the movement that you create while you're walking and stuff like that. So I think you'll be fine. But congratulations on your upcoming Neverfull. That's very exciting. It's such a great bag. Okay, and I have two more questions. Fran San and Little Bolts, they had similar questions, so I put them together. Would you consider buying a replica bag only for the purpose to see if it would fit your lifestyle? I want hands-on, and I believe replicas are $150. Okay, so this is another question that I think doesn't get enough attention here on YouTube either. Okay, so when it comes to replicas, I am not one to judge if you decide to get a replica. That's none of my business. Everyone gets their items for different reasons, and who am I to judge what it is that you decide to get? However, personally, I have been fooled in the past before with replicas. You guys know that from back in the day when I first started into this luxury world. But I am not for replicas personally. I don't like the meaning behind the replica. It's not the fact that someone's out there saying, it has nothing to do with, I don't want to spend $2,000 on a bag. I'd rather buy this $200 bag because, it's the same thing. It looks the same. It has nothing to do with that. There is a huge difference between replicas and authentics as far as quality goes, obviously. So you can't really get a feel for the bag entirely. You can get a feel for the size, but not as far as the quality. Okay, so that's besides the point. But it's the meaning behind the bag. It's what replicas support. It's the terrorism, the child labor, and there's so many things behind the scenes. So if you have a fake bag, if you have a fake item, some people might just see it as a replica. Okay, it's a replica, it's a bad replica, it's a horrible knockoff, blah, 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 blah. But they don't think of what it took to make that bag and what it's supporting, because it's not in front of their face. You know what I mean? So I have had people tell me some of their replicas, some of their things that they have, and I'm not going to say anything negative. I'm not going to judge them because, like I said before, I'm not here to judge. Everyone does themselves, and that's none of my business. But if I don't like the feeling of when like I said, when I first started this luxury, adventure, how people would lie to me. That was the worst part, the fact that I didn't know that it was a replica. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to look for. I was young. Had I known then what I know now, I would have never purchased it. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely not for it, because you don't have to buy a replica. There are other brands that are non-brands that don't have the CC logo, that don't have the Louis Vuitton logo, that you can get a feel for the similar style, similar structure of the bag without having to give in to the replicas. Case in point, my very good friend Jackie, or Buggin, she actually had, there was a boy bag that she bought, a similar boy bag that she got at I think it's Forever 21. So it had the same characteristics as the boy bag. I think it cost her $19.99. And you're not supporting the replicas. You're not supporting the knockoffs. You're not supporting all the negative things behind the replicas. And you can still get a feel for somewhat of what the bag would be like. So I would always suggest doing that. You don't necessarily have to have a logo on there for you to feel, or for you to know what the bag would be like. So that's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not here to judge, but because I was asked, that is my honest, that's how I feel. So to each their own. Okay, and the last question is from Saint Tropez for me. Minnie, how do you feel about having to start another Instagram page for fear of people judging? Okay, and I think this is another great question. There are a lot of people out there who don't understand our love of luxury items. They don't. Okay, they're going to judge. They're going to say negative things. And I know in the beginning I had one Instagram account, and I had a lot of my ex-coworkers on there, and they'd always start saying, oh, here she is again. Here she is buying another bag. I don't care. I don't want to hear what you have to say. So I started my other Instagram page, which is the one that I currently have. And especially when I started YouTube, I kind of put them both together because it gave me a way to really express myself and really come on here without having to worry about what someone's going to say. And yes, I know there's trolls out there, out in YouTube and stuff like that, but I don't pay much attention to them. And it just, the negative comments, I could care less. There are some times when negative comments get to me, and I'm human, you know what I mean? It's going to happen. And there's been times when I've thought about saying something back to the person, and I'm just, you know what? I'm like, why? What's the point of even going, back and forth, there's no point, absolutely. So if you decide to start an Instagram page solely for luxury items, it's okay. I've done it. I know a lot of people out there that have done it, and it's how you feel. If it makes you feel better, if it's something that you like to talk about, then talk about it freely. And if you worry about that judgment like I did, and you decide to start a new Instagram page, you'll feel liberated in a sense because you have other people that have similar interests. You know what I mean? So especially, I think I posted a picture one time of the packaging in Chanel, and I had someone say, so what? And it's like, no, you don't get it. Then I posted that same picture on my Instagram page, on my new one, and I got so many, comments on it. Oh, you're right. I love it. And it feels so much better. So I say go for it. And another thing is, you will get judgment on Instagram. To me, Instagram is a little bit more personal because I tend to interact on Instagram every single day for the most part. There's some days that I totally don't go on there. But there are people that I currently have on my Instagram who I will post a picture and they'll just, they start talking negatively. Whatever happened to, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. You know what I mean? There's things that I think, but am I an honest person? Yes. Am I going to be hurtful? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? So I don't understand people's thought process. Like, if I'm going to post something, it's my Instagram. It's what I like to talk about. If you don't like the pictures I'm showing, don't look at them. You know what I mean? I don't want to address negativity because you guys know I don't care. I don't respond back to people that say negative things. I'm not going to be a jerk. I'll just delete you. That's just easier for me. It's not it's not a problem. It's just like, oh, okay, you want to talk smack? All right, later. It doesn't bother me. But anyways, if that's what makes your heart sing, if you want to share your pictures, your items without judgment, another Instagram page is always a good idea. Definitely. But anyways, that is all I have, you guys. Thank you so much for all the wonderful questions. I hope I was able to answer them. And I know I got a little tongue-tied there a few times. But what are you going to do? But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow, because I have an exciting handbag file strictly on vernis. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.